Yo, what's good, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Man, my glass is dirty. I'll be back.
Did y'all read your Bible? Bible. Did y'all read your Bible? I don't understand. Did y'all read your Bible? I don't understand.
Clean spectacles. Clean spectacles. But anyways, I want to talk to you guys about effective communication. I know that's a little different. Like, what is this, a relationship guru? I might be, but I'm not though. Anyways, effective communication, bro. I want to talk to you about that in the sense of bringing people to God, my guy. Because I feel like a lot of people lack effective communication when it comes down to explaining the love of God. Okay, and I want to talk to you guys about effective communication. Now, you can take the same thing and apply it to your relationship if you want to, but that's you. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? If you happy, hey man, hallelujah. But I want to talk to you about it in the sense of God, bro. Telling people about the love of God and effective communication. Okay, because I feel a lot of people tend to focus on other people's problems. Like, oh, you got to come to God because you're dealing with this. Or you got to come to God because you're dealing with this. But let me tell you something. The truth does not matter if you do not effectively present it. I'm going to say that one more time. The truth does not matter if you do not effectively present it. But let that simmer. What we talking about simmer? If I tell you I'm gonna cook you, I'm gonna give you some food, right? I'm gonna give you some food. Come over to my house, I'm gonna give you some food, all right? And then I put some raw chicken down on your plate and give it to you. Now, technically, it's food. Whether it's cooked or it's not cooked, it's food. See, but the difference is cooked chicken will give you the nourishment that you need, while uncooked chicken will make you sick. Okay? And that is what effective communication is like. Whether it's true or not, it's true. God loves you. Okay, that's the truth. Okay, God loves you. Now, how can I tell somebody that God loves them? Now, effective communication will be, hey man, you know what I'm saying? We all deal with some things. I deal with some things, But let me tell you something. There's a God that loves you through your nonsense. He sees what you're doing. He still loves you. Okay? That is effective communication. Now, if you walk up to somebody and you be like, hey, bro, your sinning, bro, man, it's killing you, man. You gotta give your life to God now, bro. Give your life. Let me tell you, what you doing, man. This is awful, bro. You awful. It's true, but it's not effective. Because now you're putting more emphasis on what they're doing and not putting emphasis on the solution to their problems. Okay? Now, what they're doing is bad. They shouldn't be doing it. We all do it. So, you know what I'm saying? We have to give them the same solution that someone gave us, which is God, Jesus, Jehovah, Jireh. That is the solution. If you put emphasis on his solution, the truth becomes nourishable. It's pleasant. It's like cooked chicken versus you serving him raw chicken. and expecting him to eat that. He's not going to eat that. So if we're not putting emphasis on the solution of a problem, then we're not helping anybody's problem, because now they're rejecting the truth because how it's presented to them. It's not presented to them as a problem solver. It's presented to them as if they're a problem that needs to be solved. It's two different things. Okay, you have to present God as God is intended to be presented. All right, in a loving fashion. God is a loving God. It's in the Bible several times. God is a loving God. So if you present them with a solution that, hey, I have a God that loves you. He loves you. And they accept that. Then you let them know. Now you gotta surrender yourself. You gotta die unto God the way that Jehovah died for your sins. You gotta now die unto Him and become whole with Him. Okay. If you reverse that, let me tell you something, bro. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. You know it ain't gonna work. If you do that to yourself, you know it ain't gonna work. You gonna be over there like, I don't know if I want to go back to church. And you done did it to yourself. Look, bro. Effective communication is what allows the truth to be accepted. Because whether it's true or not, the way that you deliver it is going to be whether it's taken in or whether it's rejected. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever had somebody be like blunt with you? Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? This is my attitude. You take it, you know what I'm saying? Blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You flip out. Like, bro, you don't like it. But guess what? Then you know, later on in the day, man, you know what I'm saying? That conversation might come back. And, you know what I'm saying? You got those people, he was probably right. Yeah, he was probably right. But it's how he presented it, you rejected it. Now, you might have got it later on in life. But if it was presented in a way that was welcoming, that was loving, the way that the God that I serve is loving, then it wouldn't have been rejected. And I know a lot of people, want to go out here and be, you know what I'm saying, all blunt. You got to be blunt and all these other things. But when has that ever worked? Okay, it's never worked. You know what I'm saying? There are certain things you could be upfront. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, dude. But certain situations, you just got to bring the love of God. If you forget the love of God in displaying God, you're not displaying God properly. You're improperly displaying God because you're forgetting one of the crucial elements is that God is love. God is a loving God. Okay, yes, God can be terrifying at times, but God is a loving God. He just wants to love you, give you what it is that He has for you. You know what I'm saying? Not this temporary, fading things that we sometimes seek after. You know what I'm saying? He wants to love you. He wants to get to know you. He wants you to get to know Him. And if we leave that out of our presentation, then we are misrepresentation of what true following God is. You have a misrepresentation of God, and you're taking that out to the world, and you're sharing a bad representation of God. You know what I'm saying? That's if I go and I have my daughter play Beethoven. She's going to play Beethoven terribly. Won't even sound like Beethoven. That's how bad it will be. But that's like me taking that and then pushing it out to the world that this is Beethoven. It's not Beethoven. It's a bad representation of Beethoven. Now, we won't do that to Beethoven, but yet we won't even second guess doing it to God, which is crazy. But as we go on through this church service, and as we go on through the week, find ways to properly represent God. Show the love of God. Let people know what God, my God is a loving God. Okay, that I was in this mess, and yet He stayed there and helped me through my mess, so I can stand here today and tell you that God loves you through any mess that you have. I don't care about the mess you have. Your mess is between you and God. I have my messes. Everyone has their messes. But God will see you through any mess and any circumstances if you just give yourself over to Him. So let's get this church started.